The factory was massive, machines humming, metal clanging, air thick with oil and sweat. It wasn't the kind of place where people stayed long. With 5 different temp agencies funneling in workers every week, the faces changed faster than the shifts. You could work next to someone for days, maybe even share a few jokes over coffee, and then, poof, they'd be gone by next Monday. No goodbyes. No warning. That's the kind of place I worked at, lonely, loud, and forgettable. But even in that chaos, your lunch? That was sacred. After 12 hours of backbreaking labor, that small plastic container in the fridge was your one reminder that something in the world still belonged to you. Until it didn't. It started small. Day 1, my lunch was gone. Maybe I misplaced it. Day 2, same thing. By day 3, I was sure someone was stealing my food. At first, I tried to laugh it off. I mean, who does that? We're all adults here, right? But 6 straight days, 6 12-hour shifts, with no lunch? That's not funny anymore. That's personal. The hunger wasn't just in my stomach, it crawled under my skin. It whispered in my ear during every break, every growl of my stomach. Someone thinks they can take from you and get away with it. Every time I walked into that break room, I scanned faces. Who looked a little too full. Who avoided eye contact. It could have been anyone. And that made it worse. By the end of the week, I was done playing detective. My patience had burnt out, just like the stale coffee in the break room pot. That night, as I stood in my kitchen, I opened the fridge and stared at the ingredients. Steak, bell peppers, onions, tortillas. And then, my eyes landed on the small jar in the corner. Bright red. Deadly. Carolina Reapers. My brother had given them to me months ago as a joke. Use these if you ever want to commit culinary murder, he'd said. I wasn't planning on murdered. Just justice. I spent the entire night crafting my masterpiece. Sliced the steak just right, grilled it until it sizzled. Then came the pico de gallo, fresh tomatoes, cilantro, lime juice, and a fine, almost invisible mince of Carolina Reapers. Each chop released waves of fiery fumes that burned my eyes and made me cough, but I didn't care because every tear that rolled down my cheek wasn't pain, it was payback. I layered everything neatly in a clear Tupperware, topped it with fresh cilantro, and placed 2 lime wedges on the side. It looked too good to resist. That was the point. Next morning, I walked into the factory with that Tupperware like I was carrying a time bomb. I placed it right in the middle of the break room fridge, front and center. Not hidden. Not disguised. A clear, beautiful trap. Then I waited. The hours crawled by. Machines roared, alarms buzzed, and my stomach growled, but all I could think about was that fridge. About an hour into the shift, the break room door flew open. A woman's voice cut through the noise. Help. Somebody help. He can't breathe. Everything stopped. I dropped my tools and ran to the break room. And there he was, the lunchbox bandit. A middle-aged guy from one of the other temp crews. Face red, eyes watering, gasping for air. My Tupperware lay open beside him, fajitas half-eaten. The smell of peppers filled the air. The kind of heat that stings your throat just by breathing it in. Someone was shouting for water, another worker called for help. Turns out he had asthma. The Carolina Reaper triggered an attack so bad they had to rush him to the hospital. Nobody said a word after that. HR came down, asked a few questions, but no one could prove anything. And honestly, no one seemed too eager to. Everyone in that factory had lost a lunch at some point. Everyone had felt that quiet, invisible violation. So when karma finally came for the thief, no one cried for him. Even the fridge stayed strangely full after that. No more missing lunches. No more guessing games. Just peace. I never told anyone it was me. Not a single word. But every now and then I think about that day, the screaming, the panic, the heat of the peppers, and I wonder if I went too far. Then I remember 6 hungry shifts. 6 empty stomachs. 6 stolen moments of comfort. And suddenly, it doesn't feel so wrong. Because sometimes, karma just needs a little help getting served. He gasped for air, eyes wide, sweating, lips red from the peppers. The same man who'd been stealing from everyone now begging for help. while my untouched lime wedges gleamed beside him like a final insult. And me? I just stood there, calm, watching the chaos unfold. Justice had never smelled so spicy. In the end, I didn't need to confront him, or even say a word. The universe, or maybe just a Reaper pepper, handled it for me to. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't sweet at all, it burns. If this story gave you that warm, fiery feeling of justice, go ahead and hit that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest but most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of karma served extra hot. Until next time, keep your lunches close and your peppers closer.